In this demo, we will use Node-RED to connect to an IBM IoT device and an application and store the data into a NoSQL database, in this example, Cloudant. You need to have a Bluemix account for running this example. Bluemix accounts are available for free, so you can sign up and try out this example. Once you have signed up into Bluemix, you can go and click on this link to go to Node-RED Starter app. The Node-RED Starter application is a boilerplate which is available within the Bluemix cloud environment. I will provide a unique name for the app. And this would be my app name. The application will be available at Metis _ds underscore s1 dot Bluemix mybluemix.net. I will choose the selected plan as default and Cloudant NoSQL Database Lite plan. The standard plan and enterprise plans will require me to pay upfront and put a credit card. I'm not going to go that route. The Lite plan will allow you to create a NoSQL database for free. The only caveat being that you can write only 10 records per event or per second. But that should not stop us from going ahead with the demo. So I'll click on create. It will create the app along with a Cloudant database service for me. The Node-RED service will take some time to start because it's going to be provisioned across data centers. So no need to restart it or recreate the service. A couple of minutes and it should be up and running. Once your app is running, you can go to the overview and look into the memory utilization and allocation. This page also gives you an ability to calculate costs, look into the activity log, and some of the other informations which are available are connections, log, and monitoring. We will go from here to the dashboard. The dashboard lets us see all our applications, in this case the Cloud Foundry application which we have created for Node-RED, which is up and running, and all services under it. So with that application itself, we got the Cloudant NoSQL database service, which is the Lite version, and it's also up and running. So we will click into this URL. This will take us into the Node-RED flow editor. Within the flow editor, since we do not have any device connected, we will add a IBM IoT simulated device from our code base. Coming back to this example, this is one of the device information. You can copy paste this information from here and it can create 3 nodes in your Node-RED application. So this is the IBM IoT device. This is the cloud and data store, and the database name is RecipeDB, and there is a debug option. We will now deploy this. Code has been successfully deployed. We will come back to the services page and validate if the database has been created. So it will take me to this page, and I can click on launch to see the Cloudant database. Clicking on the database tab here, we would see a database called RecipeDB being created, but there are no documents associated with it because we haven't loaded the data. For this example and demo, we will be loading some historical information because we are not really connected to an IoT device. But if you can, then it will automatically start loading the data into this data store. To load the historical data, we need to have Maven and Git installed. Then I will clone the Git repository and build a package as per the instructions. Looks like the directory exists from my previous installation, so I have to remove this directory. Now the cloning should work. So I have successfully cloned this repository. The next step is to create the package. I have successfully built the package. Now I will have to load the historical data. Now in order to get the last two parameters, which is the Cloudant username and password, we will have to go back into the Bluemix console and look up the Cloudant username and password. From this overview console, click on connections and click on the view credentials. It will provide you with the username, which we will provide here. And then the password. And we'll execute it. It may end up giving you an error if you're using the Cloudant Lite version because you have the ability to only enter 10 requests per second to the right class. So if you want to insert more records per second, then you'll have to go into a standard or an enterprise version. But for our demo, the data has been already loaded. Now we should be able to look into the data and visualize it. We will keep this page open simply because for creating the Cloudant connection using Notebook, we would require to look up the username, password, and the host name again. You need to create an account in IBM Data Science Experience. The URL is datascience.ibm.com, and you can log in into the Data Science Experience. Once you log in, it will take you to this dashboard where it has a lot of contents regarding datasets, notebook, tutorials, etc. On the left hand side, we will have a drop down from where we can create our own project. I will create a new project. I will have to choose a Spark service here. If you don't have a Spark service, it will ask you to create a Spark service at this screen, and it will take you to the Bluemix console where you can spin off a Spark service. You can give a project description here. And you can create your own project. Now, once this project is done, you can add your own notebook, connect to the cloud and data source, and analyze the data. You can choose Spark 2.0. This service is available, and I will create a notebook. This notebook will take me into an interactive Jupyter notebook where I can keep on building my code and visualize the data. I can go back to my time series example and start using the code. Execute the code. Successfully executed. Now, in this line of code, we'll have to provide the host name, username, and password. And we can go back to our cloud dashboard, and you can get the host name. Username, and password. And the database name is RecipeDB. So we execute this, and if it doesn't return any error, it means it has successfully connected to your database. To check the data, we can print the schema. And we can execute some of the other operations. In this case, I will do a count, and it should only return me 11 records. Because we could only insert 11 records to start with. Then we can look into the temperature for all those 11 records. And then we can start playing around with the Panda and the Panda libraries here and create a Panda data frame. Using Panda libraries, I can look into the index information, all the columns here. Now I want to visualize some of the information with matplotlib. So I could look into the data, visualize the data here. You can use data frame to execute and get the last 10 temperatures. Here, because I don't have enough values, the line is pretty much straight. To look into the z-score and wz-score, this is a fluctuation, and again this is pretty much a very small set of data, so not much to visualize here, but at least you would be able to load more data into CloudNDB. You will get a better plot. So that concludes the demonstration of the Jupyter notebook and the IBM IoT device.